Okay, welcome back everybody to another MTGO League. This time returning back to an old favourite. We're playing some Temur Rhinos. This deck lists pretty much what Doomwake played, I think, in one of the recent modern challenges. I've taken out one endurance for one Klothys because endurances are crazy money on MTGO, and I couldn't quite get to the amount of ticks I needed. So Klothys has been good in the past, see how it does now. But yeah, it's a bit of a hybrid list in that it's running 2 Bonecrusher, 3 Pyro, but I quite like that. And yeah, you still get all of the classics. Gone down 1 Fury. I'm not sure if that's because Hammer Time seems to have been seeing a little bit less play online. But yeah, running 3 Gemstone Caverns to always try and be quote unquote on the play. And then you got the Blood Moons as well. So yeah, let's give this a go. One of the decks I'm considering taking to an upcoming it's a big tournament here in the UK, run by Axion now. There's a Mega Modern and a Team Trios that I'll be playing in. So yeah, big kind of several hundred people modern event, and yeah, the Team Trios as well, which is always really good fun. My favourite way to play Magic, really, unified modern. So yeah, I think people from elsewhere would probably call it, it's probably like a 5k, maybe more. I know that the winner gets 3 blue dual lands of the main event, so yeah, already you're looking at quite a hefty prize pool. But yeah, really good venue in the UK. Do check it out if that's where you're from. And yeah, thank you to everyone that's subscribed to the channel. Please continue to do so if it's things you're enjoying. And yeah, anyone not subscribed, please do think about subscribing if you're enjoying the content. And yeah, always happy to chat in the comments as well. But for now, let's try and get some people with some 4/4s. This hand obviously not where we want to be. You can suspend Rhinos on 1 and then Fire Ice. This is much better. Think. Yeah, we're just going to, what's my opponent's revealed Yorion. Okay, so we'll get rid of a Footfalls. So Yorion could be anything. It could be the 4-color Blink deck. It could be a control deck. Could even be. I mean, haven't seen the taxes lists running around a long time, but yeah, let's see. So yeah, just lead out with. So this hand, if we can draw one more land, this hand is absolutely perfect. You know, you can ice a land turn 2. You can, and then cascade turn 3. So yeah, looking like it is the 4-color deck. We are running a Triome in this list. So yeah, any land. Any untapped land? Yep, that's perfect. So is there any reason to not play that out? I think we'll fetch here. We're going to be fetching anyway. And then in my opponent's upkeep, we're going to ice their land, and then we can make some Rhinos. Obviously, our opponent can have Solitude and things here. But yeah, see how we go. So we've got a forest. So I think we're just going to go and get Steam Vents, and then we've got 2 of every colour if we need. Yes, let's just go and ice my opponent's land. Stops my opponent playing Renin 6 as well. There's a land. So I don't think there's anything our opponent can do. With these usual lists, there's nothing much the opponent can do to stop the cascade. Could have Force of Negation. That is a card they run. Don't have it here. So yeah, let's see what my opponent can do. Okay, so Ketria Triome. So yeah, definitely thinking this is this is the 4-color deck. We're probably going to see a Teferi here. We're really glad we're on the play. Obviously Teferi a nightmare for us. We're going to have to attack everything at Teferi here, I think. Because if my opponent's Solitude Oh, we need to draw some more spells. Yeah, so we're going to attack everything at Teferi. Don't want my opponent to just Solitude, and then we obviously can't, you know, they Solitude, we don't kill the Teferi, and then they can keep going. We can't respond with any of our spells. Probably just playing out Brazen Borrower here. Iteration, sure. Spreading Seas entering the exile zone, so that's fine. Yeah, we haven't actually drawn any spells yet. Really want to. A bit surprised my opponent plays Railgun Triome there. Not going for this race. It might be that they didn't find a land that they needed. Yeah, we're just going to cast a Brazen Borrower here. Okay, Lightning Bolt, sure. Go and get a tap land. Doesn't really matter here, I don't think. Let's go and get Stomping Ground. So yeah, drawing spells would be nice. A Force of Negation would be pretty good. Yeah, we'll definitely take a Violent Outburst as well. Do we want to attack? Do we want to Violent Outburst now is the question. So we're hitting them down to 10. Their turn, we make some Rhinos. It's whether we think if they go Omnath next turn. Oh, that's so they've probably got Omnath. That's why they played the tap land. Do we Outburst here, or do we wait for my opponent? I think we're just going to wait here. I think putting them to 8. Well, maybe it'll matter, but that'll fetch land past the turn. So we're afraid of like counter spell. Okay, it might be that we try and bounce. Okay, so here's Omnath. So yeah, if my opponent... Oh, actually, we can do it now. Yeah, we're just going to petty theft that now. Then my opponent can't gain any life either. Yes, I've only got one land. We should be okay here. Misty Rainforest. So yeah, we don't want to see Solitude. Obviously, it could be Solitude. Solitude Ephemerate really gets us. I think we're just going to get... We're running double island here. Yeah, I think we can just get a mountain here. Maybe we're meant to just go for Brazen Borrower, but I think I quite like this. My opponent can't force, seeing as it's their turn. So they have to have Solitude Ephemerate here, really. Because then that gets rid of... Okay, they don't have it. That would get rid of 2 of our Rhinos, and then they get to block another Rhino. We kind of had to win that turn, I think. Okay, so we're going to bring in Blood Moon. It's not actually as much of a slam dunk often against these decks. Just because they have all the abundant growths and they can quite aggressively fetch basics. Don't think we want the Force of Negation. Well, maybe for Teferi, but I think we'd rather have Dispute there. So Fury's great. Dead Gone doesn't do anything really, and neither does Bonecrusher Giant. The ones we care about are higher toughness than that. We got one more slot. It could be Klothys. Klothys can be quite good against them. Endurance as well. They're often running Eternal Witness, so that could be good. Prismari Command doesn't do anything. So, do we want the Force just for Teferi? Let's try a one of Klothys and then a couple of Endurances. Let's go with that. Okay, this hand is an odd one. We can counter a Teferi. but we really need to find another land. But if we do, I think it'll be pretty good. Maybe we're meant to mulligan given that we've got Gemstone Caverns, but yeah, I think this is fine. So we're not too bothered about Ren and 6. Okay, that's obviously a really good draw. I wonder if we're meant to fetch basic forest with that. We probably are. Oh, I probably should have gone... Yeah, I should have fetched basic forest and played Crashing Footfalls there. I forgot we had that in hand. Okay, so this looking like it's going to be a Ren and 6. Yes, that was a bit of an error. Okay, opponent is fetching basics, so they are a bit afraid of Blood Moon. Okay, no Ren and 6 though. Okay. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. So, yeah, I think we're just going to tap my opponent's land now, and then they can't cast a fairy anyway. So let's go ice. We'll ice this. It doesn't actually matter. They're both both dual lands here. And then I think, okay, basic mountain is not actually too bad because then we can Seasoned Pyromancer. Maybe we're meant to wait here. Okay, Fury is okay. So, yeah, I'm a bit afraid. So, what am I afraid of? We're afraid of... The biggest thing we're afraid of is to Fairy with Veil of Summer backup. If my opponent plays just to Fairy, am I meant to go for it here? No, I think we'll wait until my opponent's turn. If they play just to Fairy, or if they go land to Fairy, iteration. So, yeah, I think we can let that resolve. And then we're going to Violent Outburst, end of my opponent's turn. Okay, so they shock in. So this could be Dovin's Veto. Or they could be holding up something like Ella Damri's Call. Okay, so let's attempt to make some rhinos. Don't know, I could have messed this up. Ether Gust. Okay, so we can put that on the bottom. Okay, so now we can go... Okay, we draw another Shardless Agent. So we'll play a forest, a mountain, and then we can just play another one. Crashing Footfalls, make 10 power, and we can hold up Dispute for a potential to Fairy as well. Hand shaping up quite well. We've got this Seasoned Pyromancer to reload if we need to. Seasoned Pyromancer could be played in this, I suppose. Maybe it's hard to get double red, but this with Ephemerate and Yorion could be really good. Let's see what our opponent's got. I guess we can Dispute an Omnath as well. Opponent plays a land. Some of these lists play Supreme Verdict, but it's not as common anymore. Could be Hardcast Solitude to Fairy. Okay, so we're just going to try and dispute that. Looking like our opponent might have Counterspell. No, just resolves. So yeah, we're going to bash in for 10 here, potentially. Opponent could have Solitude or Lightning Bolt. Okay. So yeah, we're going to crash in for 10. Another Fury is not too bad. They kill Omnath. I think then we are meant to just jam another Shardless Agent. Opponent could obviously have another Gust. Yeah, I think we're meant to just jam here. Okay, opponent adding white. Okay, yeah, the Damri's cool. This could just be for Omnath. Subtlety doesn't work here. I guess Fury. Okay, so they go and get Solitude, which is reasonable. We'll cast Crashing Footfalls. So yeah, we've got a lot of power on the board. So Solitude, I guess. Solitude, Ephemerate Solitude would be get rid of 2 Rhinos, and then they can block a Shardless Agent, go up to 8, they still die. Double Solitude, I suppose, is a problem. Omnath into Solitude is it's not great. Okay, so they've got Teferi. Okay, so they get rid of a Rhino. They're still at 5, and we've got 4, 8, 12, 16 power on the field. They go to 3. There's iteration. I mean, even Solitude Ephemerate now isn't Steam Vents. I guess they need to survive this turn and then start playing Omnath. Okay, so there's Solitude. Have they got 2 Solitudes? They get rid of an ending. Okay, so here's Ephemerate. So they get rid of 2 Rhinos, make a blocker. But then, yeah, we can just Fury away this. We go Fury, kill this, attack for lethal. I mean, even, you know, my opponent blocks here, they go up to 6, it's still lethal. Unless they have another Solitude. Yeah, we can have a good turn this coming turn. We go evoke Fury, kill this, and then play Seasoned Pyromancer to make some stuff. So opponent has to have exactly Solitude white card in hand to survive. But they don't know that we can kill this. And in fact, we do get there. So, yeah, good win there. I think this is probably quite a good matchup for us. We're pretty efficient, and they can take a little bit of time to get going. And you know, Teferi is a big problem sometimes, but yeah, deal with it well there. So, yeah, let's go straight into the next game. Okay, we are on the play for round number 2. Yes, out of this a mulligan. We will keep this. We're going to need to find a land. Oh, no. That was close. Definitely don't want to bottom the basic forest. We'll bottom a Crashing Footfalls. Okay, so we'll play a forest and suspend a Footfalls. No companion shown by our opponent. I suppose neither by us. Scalding Tarn implies, or potentially Murktide. Okay, Serum Visions. So, still thinking Murktide. 2 on the bottom for our opponent. Okay, so really want to see another land off the top. It's very tempting to force this. My opponent looks like they're digging for lands. 2 on the bottom. Yeah, they don't find any more land. They have to go to discard. Land? We didn't find lands either. Okay. Will our opponent find their land? Don't think I really want to force. Okay, our opponent just concedes. Obviously missing lands, so it's some sort of blue-red deck. I'm thinking no companion means probably Murktide Regent. So against Murktide, we're going to bring in all these. We don't want forces, those don't really do much, and my opponent might be bringing in disputes as well. Obviously don't want Blood Moon. Dead Gone can be really good against Ragavan, so I think we're going to keep that in. Brazen Borrower is a good out to Murktide Regent, and also Chalice that my opponent sometimes brings in. I think we can shave the Bonecrushers. Whilst they do kill a turn on Ragavan, they don't kill a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Prismari Command, I think we can get rid of both of those. May be needed if we see Chalice game 2. But yeah, I think we can go with that. Yep, this hand seems good. Keep. So yeah, we're just looking to potentially counter something, and then yeah, we've got endurance, and okay, another one of those is nice. So we are going to have to be a bit careful of Blood Moon. My opponent might try and Blood Moon us. I think we can actually just wait on these. Okay, another Tarn, so we can now fetch basics, so play a Foothills. Just in case my opponent has Blood Moon. It also plays around Fire Ice here. Electro Dominance. Was not expecting that. Okay. So they're Crashing Footfalls. Right. Okay. Yeah. So they make 2 rhinos. We're going to try and bounce one of those. I think we're just going to go for that now. Probably should have done this end of their turn. So I'll get Island, Forest. I don't think we can hold up Dispute very easily anyway. Island, Forest. So yeah, we'll just Petty Theft one of these. Opponent might have a counter spell. Yeah, we probably should have done this at the end of at the end of our turn. Yeah. Spell Pierce. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Yeah, if we get Spell Pierced again, that's an issue. Okay, so we can't go and fetch another basic now. Trouble is, if we fetch Shock, I think we're going to go for it now. So we need more red and more green. If opponent has another Spell Pierce, then that's fair play to them. Yeah, Electro Dominance is an interesting one. Not seen that in a while. So in fact we are going to want to bring the Force of Negations back in. Okay, as foretold is a bit scary. because now they could play another Rhinos or restore. Okay, they're just drawing 3 cards, which is yeah, obviously pretty good here. If my opponent attacks with these Rhinos, I'm going to trade. Sacred Foundry. Could be Prismatic Ending. I guess that probably means they're running Restore Balance. Yeah, I'm going to have to block here. Only 4 cards in hand for my opponent. Right, okay, Violent Outburst is an excellent draw. I think we're going to wait here and Violent Outburst end of turn, because it might be that we have to... I guess we can't actually dispute something like a... Restore Balance, because my opponent will have enough mana. Hopefully... Teferi is quite a good one here. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and dispute that. Could have just made Rhinos, I guess. Okay, 3 cards in hand for our opponent. Okay, so they cast Serum Visions for free. This once each turn. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we're just, I think we're just going to get basic Mountain here. Don't really want to go any lower on my life total. So yeah, the white is for Teferi, obviously. So yeah, we'll make some Rhinos. And then we've got quite a lot to do at instant speed here, so yeah, there's no way we're playing Bolt us. Okay. Maybe I meant to dispute that. I probably am meant to dispute that. Well, just because now if my opponent goes untap Bolt us, hopefully it's not Bolt, hopefully it's Electro Dominance dealing us 3. Target player draws 3 cards, sure, that's pretty good. So they've used that as foretold this turn. If they draw Bolt, they can kill us. If they draw Electro Dominance, that's okay because we can counter it. Do we flash in Endurance here? I feel like we do. Electro Dominance is a... Oh, it isn't instant. It is an instant. So if we flash in Endurance, our opponent could kill us with Electro Dominance. X is 3. If we don't, we're 1 point of damage short. I guess we could Seasoned Pyromancer, look for a Fire Ice. Oh, this is tough. Let me know what you do. It's going for lethal versus holding up this counter spell. Really not sure. So we could... Our opponent drew 3 cards last turn. They can't play something for free. I think I'm going to go for it now. If we get got by it, we get got. Okay, we couldn't have actually played around that anyway. So, yeah, fair. Yeah, we couldn't play around that Lightning Bolt. I think our opponent was trying to play around Force of Negation. Okay, so we've got a different sideboard plan. So instead of what we just had, so we definitely want to take out these dead gons. We definitely want the Force of Negations in. Klothys we don't really need. Endurance we actually don't need either. Blood Moon's not amazing. I guess Force of Vigor's not bad to kill the As Foretold if that's the plan they're on. Oh, we don't need Fury. So 3 more cards. Blood Moon could be effective, but I don't think we're that interested in it. Force of Vigor, it only kills As Foretold is the thing. They were quite colour intensive. We saw that they used Electro Dominance, and maybe we want Prismari to try and cycle through. Trouble is, by the time they've played the thing, they've kind of already done it. That game did get fairly grindy, I guess. Maybe we should be bringing in Klothys. Difficult. They don't use the graveyard. They've got the Gargadon on that they can suspend. Let's bring in 1 Force, 1 Klothys, 1 Prismari to split the difference. Go with something like that. I don't think the Forces are that good, but yeah, I think they're potentially better than some of this other stuff. Right, we would certainly like to play first. Yeah, this is okay. We will keep. Okay, and then we'll go. I think we'll just fetch a basic forest. Suspend these rhinos. Opponent's kept 7. They suspend a Gargadon. Okay, yeah, Force is a really excellent draw there. Okay. I suppose our opponent can actually do this in our upkeep. Do we think our opponent's going to be on Blood Moon, really? I think we can go and get Island anyway. Opponent having Spell Pierce would be really bad. So let's go Fetch Shock. So we need double blue and we need red, so let's go get Steam Vents. I think we have to jam here. Opponent did show us Spell Pierce, but I don't really think we want to wait. We've got this other Rhinos coming in as well, potentially. Okay, so opponent doesn't have the Spell Pierce. Okay, so we've made 10 power. We've got Force of Negation up as well. Not sure if I'm meant to force a As Foretold here. Maybe. Okay, so we let the Electro Dominance resolve. Okay, and then we force this. Because otherwise our opponent still has the Restore Balance in their hand. That's another fantastic draw. Just play out a mountain and pass. I think we've got a couple of turns before that resolves, so if our opponent goes for the enchantment now, we will. Okay, that's a good sign. Yeah, that force was obviously an amazing draw, and we do in fact get there. So yeah, managed to get there once we found out what we were playing against. So yeah, let's move on to the next round. Okay, bit of a weird one, this one. We can Gemstone Caverns, and then Suspend Footfalls on 1, and then Pyromancer on 3. I think we're gonna we'll try that. So we'll go Gemstone Caverns, and then we'll get rid of a Foothills. So yeah, 2 mana on turn 2. Opponent plays a Foothills. Could be the mirror. Stomping Ground. It is indeed the mirror. Okay, so that's actually a pretty nice draw, but we don't actually need to do that this turn. So we're just going to suspend Footfalls here. Play Scalding Tarn and pass. So the turn we're going to ice my opponent is next turn. We could have iced there. Okay, so let's go and grab the Triome. I guess ice there would have made it more likely for us to draw a Cascader. Okay, just play a Misty and pass. We could go Seasoned Pyromancer there, but I think I'd rather ice so that my opponent can't play a Shardless Agent or anything this turn. So we'll ice. Does it matter which one? Do we want to take them off, blue or red? I think blue. Stops them potentially hard casting a force. And then this coming turn, depends what we draw. Prismari Command is okay. If we draw a Cascader, we're probably going for it. If not, we're just gonna Seasoned Pyromancer. So we've got some of any colour really. Just go and get another shock land. Okay, so our Crashing Footfalls. Okay, Violent Outburst. So if we go for it now, my opponent would have to force to stop it. If we do it in their turn. So how bad is it for us if they go force, untap, Shardless Agent? I think that's probably okay. Yeah, I think I'm fine making my opponent force here. They could have Brazen Borrower to bounce one of the Rhinos. Yeah, often in these games you just don't want to be the one that has to lose a card to force. I mean, obviously it could just resolve. And in fact it does just resolve. So opponent might be looking to Brazen Borrower 1. They could Dead Gone 1, I suppose. You're going to see a Brazen Borrower here. Okay, they just stomp us, so that's fine. So we might see a Shardless Agent here. Okay, so it could just be Violent Outburst. Another Crashing Footfalls. Okay, so we can attack here. My opponent didn't play out their Bonecrusher Giant, so that implies that they probably have Violent Outburst. Okay, they're just gonning one, which is actually fine with me, I think. Hit in for 4. Then we'll go Seasoned Pyromancer. We're going to get rid of Footfalls and Prismari Command. Okay, those are reasonable draws. Yeah, we make some tokens here. Next turn we can... Here we've got some attacks we can do. Right. Let's see what our opponent does. So they make rhinos. We do get to... oh, right. So actually these cascaders weren't that great. I mean, the first one's good, but we do have one on suspend, so we can't actually cast that one. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. It could be that they're going to try and force one of ours. If we draw a land next turn, we can actually go land, borrower, cascade. Okay, 3 cards in our opponent's hand. Could be hard casting a fury here. They are at 11. Oh yeah, actually hard casting fury is really rough for us. They kill all of these things. Looks like that's what it is. Yeah. Could kill the rhino, I suppose. They do kill the rhino. Okay, does our opponent have Force of Negation? If they do, they haven't used it. Okay, so we do draw land. So, yeah, we'll bounce a rhino. And then, yeah, I'm just going to cast our last rhinos. Make a load of tokens. Obviously the Shardless Agent's pretty good as well. Yeah. And then, yeah, you know, there's a couple of reasons for using Shardless Agent there. Obviously, we've only got 1 Cascader, so we might as well get the extra 2/2 body out of it. But Violent Outburst, just, you know, we can just use it as a combat trick here. It makes these tokens hit in for 2. It can make a Brazen Borrower hit in for 4. Seasoned Pyromancer hit in for 3. You know, that's not nothing. Doubt we'll see an attack here. Okay, so we draw a land. I wonder if we're meant to attack. So if we attack with everything, my opponent goes block, block, block 3 rhinos. Takes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we could go for the Violent Outburst. They're swinging in for 6, 10, 14 on the backswing. So we are actually fairly safe. I think I'm going to go for it here. See how my opponent blocks. They could have Violent Outburst of their own. I think we go for it here. Opponent gets to see my entire deck, but it's not too bad. Okay, so we do get to kill our opponent's board. Don't think my opponent takes lethal. 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they do actually. Yeah. My miscalculation. Yeah, actually they take way more than lethal. Okay, so the mirror, so Fury's okay. Prismari Command is pretty useless. Mystical Dispute can be good. Blood Moon is obviously no good. They're probably playing it as well. Dead Gone, we saw there, isn't the best. It can take care of 1 Rhino, but it does cost 3 mana. I think we'll bring in the Disputes. Bonecrusher is a good plan B. Seasoned Pyromancer is good. Force is good. We're on the draw. Klothys could be good here. Yeah, I quite like Klothys. Maybe don't want quite that many Disputes. Yeah, let's go with that. Right, so yeah, this is fine. It's got a force, which, like I say, we're not always too happy to force an opponent's Crashing Footfalls, but it is a good safety net. Okay, so we're going to play a Scalding Tarn here and pass, and then do we get Triome? Does our opponent have a second land? We do need to find another land. Could be that that's an odd land to lead on, Basic Mountain. Could be that our opponent, they do have another land. Okay, so opponent can ice us whatever happens here, so we're going to get a Triome. So no ice is forthcoming. We draw the second land, which is nice. Is our opponent going to try and Blood Moon us, is the question. Okay, so we'll play this. I think we will go and get a basic. If my opponent goes for ice here, we're not going to ice them back or anything. Save the cards to pitch to. Okay, we are going to go for it here though. Do we think my opponent's brought in Blood Moon? And if so, what land do I want to get? I think Forest is better here, so we'll grab a Forest. Ice this blue land. Okay, we draw Brazen Borrower, which is a fine draw. Okay, so opponent has got all basics there. Whether they're okay, suspends Crashing Footfalls. So that was probably the so either the Forest or the Crashing Footfalls as their draw for turn. We'll play a Shardless Agent here. Yeah, I was just about to say, given that we've got these Brazen Borrowers, it should have been basic Island I found there. Because you can bounce a Blood Moon, but we didn't know that we were drawing those. Okay, so opponent is forcing. That's fine. Especially now, this is the reason, force can be so bad. My opponent's now got, 2 cards in hand. I think this turn we're going to force here if my opponent plays goes for a Cascade. Guess the risk is here we haven't got the island, so actually double island isn't great. Okay, opponent going for it here. So that should have been a basic island because I can't actually hardcast Force. So in this case my opponent getting a bit unlucky. Their last card might be Mystical Dispute. I am going to force here. We're ahead on cards. I'm actually going to pitch Fire Ice because these 2 Brazen Borrowers can deal with 2 Rhinos. Okay. So, got this Shardless Agent. We're drawing really hot here. So I was going to play just Klothys that turn, but now we're all in on just playing some Footfalls. Next next turn. Yeah, I don't know what we'll do next turn. Depends what we draw. Drawing a second island would be good. Oh, okay, so opponent has actually got quite a long time left on these footfalls. If opponent doesn't do anything, we get to hit him for 12. Opponent has just conceded from the game. Okay, so we get there. We drew well that game, but yeah, good to get the win. See you for the next round. Okay, we're against a Lurrus deck, and this hand looks pretty good. Nothing to do turn 1. A little bit soft maybe to a turn 1 Ragavan, but 2 Fire Ices, a Violent Outburst to make some Rhinos, and then a Seasoned Pyromancer to reload is, yeah, you can't ask for too much more. I mean, a Thoughtseize or Inquisition would put a big hole in that, obviously, but okay, Blood Crypt. So this looks, the presence of a Verdant Catacombs means I wouldn't be too surprised if this was Jund, you know, the Jund decks that are going around with Urza's Saga. So we'll play this past the turn, try and disguise what we're on a little bit. If our opponent goes, you know, another Channeler. Okay, it looks like Renin 6. It is Renin 6. So here, yeah, we're just going to grab a... We'll grab the Triome, and then we're going to just fire this. Okay, Gemstone Caverns, bit of a dead draw. Does it matter what land we go and get? Do we want double red? So I think we're just going to go and grab Steam Vents here. Then we'll probably get a basic forest. Oh, yeah, did mean Steam Vents. But yeah, I guess we can get basic island now. So we're going to deal this 1 damage. I think we're going to deal my opponent 1 damage. Don't care too much about the Renin 6. Then next turn we'll make Rhinos unless my opponent has double Thoughtseize or Inquisition. Okay, basic forest. Tarmogoyf can be a bit scary. Okay, Ragavan bashes in. Sees Fire Ice, so that could potentially draw them a card if they want to use their treasure. Looks like they could be. Or they could just deal us 2. No, there's a Tarmogoyf. Okay, so that Tarmogoyf will be big enough to block next turn. To kill our Rhinos. I think we let it hit us. The reason it'll be big enough is if we make Rhinos. Yeah, if we make Rhinos, that puts a sorcery in the graveyard. We could double block it, but then we just get absolutely blown out by a removal spell. Okay, so opponent could dash Ragavan and finish off a Rhino with the Spell Bomb. Okay, just Ragavan. If our opponent plays another Goyf, I think I would double. If they do it pre-combat, I would probably block. Okay, Spell Bomb is fine. Okay, no attacks from the opponent. So yeah, they are a little worried about the Rhinos, it would look here. So yeah, let's go and grab basic island and then Violent Outburst. And then we're probably just attacking all here. Fatal Pusher Rhino. Makes sense. Okay, so that Renin 6 is getting to be a little bit of a problem. I think though we just make Rhinos and then we could potentially win the turn after by tapping down all of my opponent's blockers. So we'll just play a Misty, pass the turn. Yeah, obviously that Renin 6 on 6 is a little bit worrying, but we can always Fire Ice it. As in, fire it, just to keep the loyalty below ultimate range. Sure, we'll take this block. Don't really want Ragavan hitting us, and you know at this point they could hit Fury, which would be obviously pretty bad. Okay, so they kill the Rhino, but we're going to get to make more. Opponent goes down to 11, goes to 9. So actually this could potentially be lethal next turn, depending on what my opponent has. Okay, so this is actually, I think, lethal here, because we can make Rhinos, kill this, deal my opponent 1. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so yeah, make Rhinos. Then we can tap the Goyf with 1 Fire Ice, use Fire to kill Ragavan and deal my opponent 1. And then we've got lethal. Exactly lethal. So we'll play the Gemstone Caverns, not that it matters. We'll ice first so that we get to draw a card. We'll fire. Deal this 1, deal my opponent 1. And that gets in for exactly lethal damage. Okay, so sideboarding. So I would imagine, yeah, with the Pyrite Spellbomb, Nile Spellbomb mains, this is going to be Jund's Saga. So this is definitely a matchup for Blood Moon. Force of Negation we don't want. It's very possible we want the Force of Vigors. I think we still want the Dead Gones. Fury can take or leave. Prismari Command is good because it can kill their artifacts, although I'd probably prefer some Force of Vigors here. Brazen Borrower is probably fine. They might be bringing in Chalice. Bonecrusher Giant. I think we can cut a couple of Bonecrusher Giants maybe. I think I want Klothys. Definitely want... Yeah, let's bring in all of the Endurances. 1 Force of Vigor. Endurance is good to stop and block Dragon's Rage Channeler. It stops kind of Renin 6 Urza Saga loops. Do we cut a Brazen Borrower? I don't think so. Fire Ice is good. Dead Gone is good. Maybe we cut a Fury. It doesn't line up great against Tarmogoyf. Let's cut a Fury. No, let's just go with that and see how we get on here. Right. Yeah, we see it's a fine hand. You know, we can spend on 1, try and make Rhinos on 2 and on 3 and 4. Would rather this Fury was if one of these lands was Gemstone Caverns, this would be pretty insane. We're a little bit weak to a turn on Ragavan. If this is Dragon's Rage Channeler, we're okay. So that's okay. If we draw a land now, we're not. If we draw a red card, we're not going to Fury. Okay, Fire Ice is pretty good. So let's just lead on Wooded Foothills. Oh, yeah, gonna want to fetch. Okay, so that's a good draw. What are we going to want to get here? I think just a Stomping Ground, because then this can fetch dual land. Or sorry, Misty Rainforest can fetch basic if needed. And in fact, it probably does fetch basic forest. So this could be a Goyf. Okay, that's rather nice because we can potentially fire ice both of those. Maybe not. If our opponent has... Okay, they are now delirious. They discard spells pretty good here. Question is, do we Fury? If we draw another red card, we can kill both of these, which is really nice. Okay, another Shardless Agent isn't great. Do we want to Fury one down? Or do we just want to Ice? So we could go Fury, kill one. But then we can't Ice. Opponent's only got 3 cards in hand. I think we do want to do this. Because we just need to lessen the clock from our opponent until we can get Rhinos online. They bolt us, yeah, so they are fully on the aggro plan. Okay. So we'll kill one of those, play a fetch land and pass. We go down to 8, go down to 7 with the fetch. Yeah, so it's not ideal. So yeah, we'll go and get a forest here. Haven't seen her as a saga yet. Okay, so we'll make some rhinos here, but we're still in a bit of trouble. You know, if our opponent attacks down to 4, we attack them down to 4. All else being equal, I mean, I'm assuming my opponent's got something here. It's probably Kolaghan's Command. Deal this to make us discard, or they could buy back a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, so they're getting back. Okay, so we get a 5. They get back a Dragon's Rage Channeler. So we can draw Brazen Borrower. Fury doesn't now help us. Yeah, this is a very aggressive start. Very aggressive by my opponent. They could go red and 6, ping us for 1. They have a heat, sure. So put some cards in their graveyard. Not actually sure what we can do here. Fire Ice into Fire Ice doesn't do anything. Seasoned Pyromancer. So, our opponent is not likely to block here. Okay, 6. I guess we can Seasoned Pyro. Well, no, there's nothing we can find. I guess we could find Endurance. We could find Endurance green card, actually. No, sadly not. We can't even go for the line of my opponent not attacking or missing their attack step because he'd have to attack. So yeah, we did have a very slim chance there. So if we found Endurance green card, yeah, my opponent, actually that probably, if my opponent draws blank, that wins us the game. Right, so I don't think there's anything really we want to change. We haven't seen Urza's Saga yet, but I'm assuming it's in there somewhere. Right, be on the play. See what kind of hand we open. 2 lands, a Cascader and 2 Endurance. This is okay. Yeah, we're going to need to find another land, obviously. But the minute we do, this hand's really good. I think we're just going to shock in here. Save the Wooded Foothills. See what we need to draw. Yeah, Endurance really good against the Dragon's Rage channelers. Brazen Borrower obviously pretty nice as well. Just want to see a land off the top. Okay, there's a Ragavan. Land. Yeah, that's really good as well. I think we're going to use that as to tap my opponent's Ragavan rather than because we just want to ensure we draw our third land next turn. So we're going to want double green and we need red. So let's go and get Stomping Ground. It's very tempting to just fire here, and then if we draw the land, we're really good. But I want to ice, I think. We just want to really make sure we find our next land. Yeah, we don't find it that turn, so we wouldn't have found it if we'd have taken our draw step next. That's, yeah, that could that's really hurt us. Opponent's got Delirium as well, which is not great. So we really need a land this turn. Yeah, opponent takes the Cascader, which is unsurprising. Land, please. That's so bad. That's really, really bad. Yeah, like that's all we need. All we needed there, just a land. I mean, that's not a bad draw, you know. Find another land and we're not too bad. I could just let the Ragavan hit us here, but I think I'm going to try and Brazen Borrower it. Opponent Veil of Summers, that's rough. Okay, they don't Veil of Summer. We could cash in an Endurance to take 2 less damage, but it's not worth it, I don't think. Okay, Spell Bomb, keeping 1 on top. Ragavan. So opponent also hasn't got a third land. Come on. Oh, come on. I think we do now potentially pitch an Endurance. I feel like this was definitely a keep. We're just getting beaten down by these things. Don't really want to go to, so we'd go to 7 here. Ugh. We go to 7, go to 5. Whereas if I do that, we'd go to 9, go to 7. I mean, we're not going to have time to pitch all of these Endurances anyway, to cast all of these Endurances. I think we've just got to go for it. Take less damage here. Island on the top. That would have been a really nice draw. See what our opponent does here. They've got means they've got all the gas in hand because they didn't have a land either. Well, Goyf's a good one as well. What else have they got? Engineered explosives on 0 seems pretty good. There's the Urza's Saga. Oh yeah, because we get rhinos this turn anyway. Land. Okay, so we do find the land. So we're going to have to endurance here. So we're going to endurance ourselves. Opponent probably cracks this now. Two cards in our opponent's hand. This Tarmogoyf is a real problem. So we've got, yeah, we exile, we shuffle our grave. It's not even shuffle, is it? Put our graveyard on the bottom here. It makes the Tarmogoyf quite a lot smaller. Okay, is our opponent going to let us go to blocks here? So if I go endurance, put my own graveyard, our opponent can make it a 3/4 with these artifacts. I think I'm just going to go for the double block. Okay, so they terminate one of these. Okay, I'm a little bit surprised there. So that's got 4 damage marked on it. So no, an artifact doesn't make it any bigger. So actually if okay, opponent drawing a card. So opponent's got 1, 2, 3, 4 types. Can I now endurance to make it less? So if I go endurance, that would, we need to make 4 types, makes this a 4/5. We've got land, instant, artifact, sorcery. So actually endurance doesn't do much here. Another Goyf. Okay, so this might just be game over. So we'll flash in this. We will put, yeah, we'll do my opponent's graveyard. Now we draw lands. So we can go block here. So if we go block here, oh yeah, we can block with the Shardless Agent as well. So we make rhinos. Play a land, pass the turn. So our opponent can go EE. Then we've got 2 blockers. We block a Goyf and a Goyf, take 3. Or we could go block, try and kill these. Inquisition, yeah, that's a pretty good draw. Not much gets us out of this. We really needed those lands in the early game. Yeah, because now we can't make more rhinos either. Yeah, sadly, I think this is probably game over for us. If we draw, no, we haven't got another endurance. If we can make more rhinos, we'd be in okay shape. Okay, opponent attacking with everything. So let's go. I think we have to block at least one of the goyfs, and then I think we're just going to go here. We take 5, 6. If opponent's last card is Bolt, trouble is with blocking this, that's just playing to not lose. I think we have to play to our outs now. We need to, we're going to need to draw well anyway. Yeah, looks like the opponent's just got the Bolt. So we get a 6. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we were pretty dead, whatever happened there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, yeah, it was missing that land really hurt us. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Join us for the last round. We'll be going for the, what's that, 4 and 1. Okay, we see a good hand here. Yep, really good. We're against the Lurus deck, so Fury and Fire Ice probably going to be good. So we're going to go Suspend Footfall. All else kind of being equal. We're going to go Suspend Footfalls, Fire Ice, Icer land, and then Violent Outburst on 3. Obviously, that might not be might not come to fruition, but we're going to give it a go. So we're going to get Breeding Pool here, seeing as we've got this basic mountain. Pass the turn. See what flavour of Lurus it is. Bloodstained Mire. Okay, so looking like either black, red, or Jund. Are we going to see an Inquisition? We are going to see Thoughtseize, so unfortunately that means we're going to lose this Violent Outburst, but can't be helped. Okay, yeah, takes the Violent Outburst, so we're going to need to draw another one of those. Surprised opponent didn't Mishra's Bauble first. Hopefully they've seen that we're drawing Shardless Agent. Or another Violent Outburst, of course. Brazen Borrower, not a bad one as well. So yeah, just going to ice a land here. Let's see, okay, Prismari Command. Not too bad. Pitches to Fury if we need to. Can also cycle through. Looking for another Cascader. Okay, so yeah, this could be Grixis Shadow as well, actually. In fact, it probably is. Okay, so there's Ragavan. So yeah, we're going to use this Prismari Command here. Okay, so Forest. We're going to want double red. Going to do this now to play around Drown in the Lock. So we want double red and double blue. So I think we're going to go and get Steam Vents here. And then we'll do 2 damage and then draw 2, discard 2. Not great ones there. Just get rid of 2 lands. 5 cards in my opponent's hand. Okay, Thoughtseize probably takes Fury here. No, it takes the Brazen Borrower. Croxer would be not great. Okay, dashed Ragavan. See what they hit. We have gone through 2 Crashing Footfalls. Oh, that would have been a nice draw for us. That would have been a really nice draw for us. They've got Thought Seizers again. Oh no, they've got Death Shadow. So if we can find a red card. Force. Okay, so we'll play this forest out and pass the turn. Now we can force a dress down. Croxer. Okay. So I think we have to get rid of Fury here. We do have Rhinos coming down next turn. Yeah, we'll get rid of Fury. Just plays around. Yeah, our opponent having. Yeah, dress down. Looking like it might be Drown Lock. Okay, Ragavan. So I haven't got Drown Lock. So we get to make the Rhinos here. Okay, so ice not too bad. We could kill the Ragavan. I think we're just going to wait. We could tap the Shadow as well. Yeah, I wonder if we're meant to just tap Shadow. Yeah, I think so. Okay, opponent goes to 7. I think I'm just going to do it now. So if we ice this. Okay. So opponent's got 2 cards in hand. Okay, so opponent did have dress down. We have got lethal next turn, potentially. Okay, we get there with the the ice tapping down the Shadow. Yeah, so playing around that dress down that turn was correct. Didn't want to be smashed for, well, it would have been exactly lethal. So let's go for Grixis Shadow. So Endurance I think is good here. We don't want the forces. Klothys is an interesting one because it can grow shadows, which can be a bit awkward. I think we want Blood Moons in. Dead Gone's okay. Prismari Command was good there, but it's not usually. I think this is probably fine. Bonecrusher Giant. So Bonecrusher Giant in this matchup, you know, it can just be right, your opponent goes quite low on life. If you manage to deal with the shadow, you can just kind of Bonecrusher, stomp, and then cast a 4/3, and it can win the game. So yeah, I think we'll go with that. Okay, not the best hand here, so I think we're going to mulligan it. Yeah, this is really good. It's quite good. So we'll put Crashing Footfalls on the bottom, and then we'll Gemstone Caverns, and we're going to get rid of one of these Brazen Borrowers. We can make Rhinos on turn 2. Obviously, this is less good against something like Thoughtseize, but we can borrow on 2. We can borrow on turn 1, which I think we're probably just going to do here. Unless we want to... maybe we don't want to do that. In case my opponent dashes Ragavan turn 1. Okay, so we can just play the island here. Then we can fetch basic forest. Don't think we need to... Thoughtseize. So yeah, that's going to take our Violent Outburst, unfortunately. Yeah, takes Violent Outburst. I think we are going to bounce now. Take 3 less damage. We could have waited until the end of turn, bounced it. We'd have taken 3, and then my opponent couldn't play it again. But I think this is fine. Okay, Fire Ice, not too bad. We could either Fire Ice or we could Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower trying to race isn't too bad. But I think here we're actually going to ice a land. I think we're going to ice the red source. See what we can draw. Okay, we draw another one. We could have used the Brazen Borrower here to block, but I wanted to cut off a potential expressive iteration as well. Okay, there's a shadow. Okay. We could go and get Forest here. I think it's probably too late for Blood Moon, and we may not even show it to our opponent if we draw it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Okay, so I think we're going to just tap the shadow here. Yeah. Tap the shadow. Opponent wondering whether to counter this, maybe? Okay, so yeah, opponent goes for Drown in the lock. I guess if our opponent has, yeah, if they'd have had Dress Down there, it would have actually just been game. Yeah, we don't want to go and get basics, really. Don't want to give my opponent the knowledge that we've probably got Blood Moon in against them. Well, we've drawn pretty naff here. Actually, yeah, I think we've only drawn one spell, so never going to be great there. So we get to Brazen Borrower, potentially block Dragon's Rage Channeler. We're dead to Dress Down. We're not quite dead to Croxer. Dead to Bolt. Actually, we are dead to Croxer. We're dead to any sort of removal spell. Yeah, we'll just concede to a removal spell here. Unholy Heat. Yep, okay. So opponent gets there. Yeah, that's obviously that was pretty hard. That Thoughtseize coming at a perfect time, but you know, I think they run Shadow. These days run 7 or 8 Thoughtseize effects. So okay, so I think maybe we cut a land. No, I think on the play we want the lands. Endurance is fine. Yeah, so Klothys. I kind of want Klothys. Graveyard Hate as well. Brazen Borrower, they might be on Chalice. Maybe we cut. Let's cut one Gemstone Caverns. It doesn't do too much for us. On the play, well, yeah, I can see cutting one on the play. Okay, yeah, this hand is good. So yeah, we're going to try and 10-3 Blood Moon them. So lead with an island, pass the turn. Opponent might Thoughtseize. Okay, they got Ragavan, so yeah, we're just gonna kill that. Okay, so we can go and get basic now. Use this one. Oh no, we can't because we need to be able to fire that. Go grab. Fire. yeah. So see what my opponent does here. Obviously Ragavan can generate coloured mana for them, hence us needing to kill it. Didn't want my opponent to drown in the lock or spell pierce. Okay, they are dashing the Ragavan. Endurance. So I think now we have to make Rhinos. Oh, okay. There we email. Okay, that's opponent takes the Violent Outburst. And now we're gonna Thoughtseize. Sorry, now we're going to try and Blood Moon. Obviously the Ragavan is pretty good against that. But it kind of can cut you know, it's going to cut my opponent's ability to play double spell potentially. We are going to need to draw some Brazen Borrower. Yeah, we would have well, yeah, that's not the best draw for us. Opponent could bounce Blood Moon here. Okay, that's a really good draw, obviously. We're just going to go for that right away. Make some Rhinos, play a land, pass the turn. So opponent has got this treasure that can be used to cast a shadow. Okay, they get Lurus. Play the Ragavan. So we'd like to draw Fury's great. Fire would be really good. Yeah, Klothys is really, really good as well. We'll take that one. Are we attacking here? Don't really want our opponent to... Well, my opponent's going to shadow next turn anyway. If we just send... I'm just going to send one Rhino in. You know, we don't want this Ragavan hitting any more stuff. Yeah, that Klothys was another good draw. So yeah, here's a shadow. Opponent struggles to make it any bigger though. Okay, obviously that's a very good draw as well. So we'll eat the Ragavan out of my opponent's yard. If I ice the shadow here, ice the shadow, attack with everything, that is actually lethal. Or if I attack with everything, my opponent blocks. I don't think we want to do that yet. If I ice the shadow, if my opponent has... They can't have a removal spell for these Rhinos. So if I ice the shadow, draw a card, and then attack with everything, it's kind of... Yeah. We're at enough life that we don't die to dress down. Opponent can't really dress down anyway. Is there any disadvantage to waiting one turn when we definitely have lethal? I think I'm going to wait for one turn. My opponent could have 2 Unholy Heats, and then I think at the end of this... Okay, another mountain is fine. Okay, no attacks, so let's just go... I guess fire is actually slightly better because... No, let's just ice the shadow. We get to draw a card that way. It's not a very good one. Okay, we do just get there. Opponent concedes. Okay, so we get the 4-1. We narrow loss to Jund, which was very narrow the loss. Yeah, really happy with the deck. Performed well, and will continue to be one of my kind of favourites, and one of the front runners to play at my upcoming tournaments. So yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. Please do let me know in the comments, and yeah, please do consider subscribing if you haven't already, and we'll see you for the next league. All right, cheers.